Meghan didn't just get caught faking motherhood, she got caught auditioning for it.
Developing right now, Meghan Markle is trying to kid the world that all is fine with As Ever, that all is fine with Love Meghan and her relationship with Netflix, despite the fact that there has been no restock of product after weeks and weeks and weeks, and we now learn that there will be nothing new until next year. So of course Meghan is really having to lean in to what she believes is working, especially of course because Confessions of a Female Founder has been one gigantic flop.
Now let's go to Meghan and Harry. There will never be issues in that little union. Insiders at Netflix are saying that Meghan Markle is being completely ignored by the executives there.
And apparently it's just that Netflix is exhausted with this woman and they're over it.
I want to pay homage to real-life working mums. Those women out there who sacrifice it all, day in, day out, against all the odds. Women like this.
It's a real delight in being able to be a present parent, and it's a luxury sometimes because we all have to work.
Since Meghan's show flopped, bosses at Netflix have been quiet about their ongoing partnership. Remember, Meghan called it a partnership, but despite being one of Netflix's most talked about employees, Meghan Markle's loose fruit spread didn't make the cut for the streamer's official restaurant in Vegas. It's called Netflix Bites, and it serves food inspired by some of their biggest shows.
So she posted on Instagram, there was so much goodness. Can't you just hear her annoying voice when she writes this? There was so much goodness on season 1 of With Love Meghan. I didn't see any goodness, let me tell you. On Netflix that didn't make it in, there just wasn't enough time. This scene with sweet Randy Karen is especially fun as you think about summer entertaining tips and tricks. Great weekend to rewatch or catch up on the show as we gear up for season 2 this summer, and all the fun to come with As Ever Official. Because look at this post from Foster yesterday. Things that make one really wonder who is really behind the stories that Meghan Markle has a season 3 of her cooking flop, and that Ted Sarandos adores her and calls her a rock star. Meghan wasn't even invited or mentioned at this event. He's talking about Tudum, which was the huge Netflix conference hosted in Los Angeles yesterday. That doesn't seem like a rock star to me.
Meghan Markle is more unpopular than ever. That is according to YouGov, which does consistent polling around the royals. It has shown that while Catherine and William remain the most popular royals, Meghan Markle is second to last.
Meghan love more than money and talking about themselves? Is Meghan talking to herself about herself? She's gotten to the point she doesn't even need co-stars anymore.
According to one insider who likened the venture to a licensing agreement. And people are noticing how important this is. A person close to Netflix claimed the terms are more involved than licensing. Both things are bad. A recent Fast Company piece detailed Netflix's desire for As Ever to exist on its own and how they urged her to create a brand that was tied to the show yet not named after it. The distinction, that is important. The distinction between...
I'll have a lot of stuff to do, but when you can take a minute to just...
Saturday morning.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, Meghan Markle is insufferable. She's as popular as getting hardcore chafing during the first kilometre of a marathon.
That was a really lame clip. I mean, if that's what you're going to deliver to try and get people into the show, it's like, wow, nothing was left on the cutting room floor, clearly.
In her latest clip, the Hollywood wannabe pretends that her invisible limited edition kids actually said, "Hi, mommy." But when you take a step back and listen, it's her voice, her mouth, no kids in sight, and one bad decision not to go with a real editor.
Picture this, Netflix executives sitting in a boardroom, heads in their hands, watching millions of dollars disappear faster than Meghan's royal titles. What was supposed to be the streaming giant's golden ticket turned into their most expensive mistake. And the fallout is still sending shockwaves through Hollywood. The Duchess of Sussex thought she was about to conquer the lifestyle space with a cozy cooking show with Love Meghan. Instead, she served up a disaster so spectacular that even Netflix's usually silent executives couldn't hide their panic.
How sweet is that?
I mean, how relatable is that, eh? You're a single mum of 2 in Basingstoke. You've just come in off the night shift and you see one of your kids outside eating worms. Your other child's actually got worms. And you turn the telly on and Meghan's teaching you how to make a rainbow fruit salad.
But how did a woman who once captivated the world with a fairy tale wedding end up becoming the streaming platform's biggest? Headache! The story starts with ambition and ends with executives quietly discussing contract renewals behind closed doors.
Affection. Woke us all up. We're in the pursuit of joy. Love
I can't take it anymore. Get out, get out, get out. Uncle, make it end. Make it end. What is this? Guys, I feel like I'm a very accepting person. Truly, I want to like something about her. I'm searching for something to like about her. And it's so hard because she suffers from such a rare disorder of being unable to just be a human. Do you know what I mean? I've never seen this sort of. I've never seen someone that struggles to just give us like one strip of authenticity.
What happened in between will make you question everything you thought you knew about celebrity culture and the price of authenticity in Hollywood. When Netflix first signed Harry and Meghan to their exclusive deal, the streaming giant wasn't just buying content. They were investing in a cultural phenomenon. The couple who walked away from the British royal family promised intimate documentaries, inspiring children's content, and lifestyle programming that will give viewers unprecedented access to their world.
I think we're getting absolutely nothing that's authentic out of this. I mean, I think watching it was quite disappointing because you don't actually get that look into her life that you think you're going to get or you thought you were going to get when the series first said that it was going to launch. I mean, it's really this sort of charade of her playing a part in a home that's not her own, with people that she doesn't quite know. Some of them are her friends, some are on payroll. I just didn't see the Meghan that I was expecting to see, and it was absolutely not relatable. That was the main thing I was looking for in this. Meghan presents herself as this girl next door, but what we really got was this sort of person who's living in a Montecito palace, out of touch from reality.
Netflix threw down a staggering $100 million confident they were getting the next Martha Stewart meets Oprah power couple. The numbers seemed bulletproof. The Harry and Meghan documentary series had generated massive viewership, proving that audiences were hungry for royal content with a rebellious twist. But somewhere between the signature on that contract and the cameras rolling on "With Love, Meghan," something went terribly wrong. The show that was meant to showcase Meghan's authentic, down-to-earth personality instead became a masterclass in how not to connect with audiences. Production insiders whispered about endless rewrites, skyrocketing budgets, and a star who demanded control over every single detail. What started as a $12 million project quietly ballooned past $18 million, with sources claiming that every frame had to be Meghan approved. The woman who once spoke about wanting privacy was now micromanaging camera angles and obsessing over the arrangement of organic vegetables. Netflix executives, used to working with seasoned entertainers who understood the collaborative nature of television, suddenly found themselves dealing with someone who treated the set like her personal kingdom. The red flags were everywhere, but the investment was too big to walk away from. Here's where the story takes a turn that left viewers feeling completely betrayed. The warm, rustic farmhouse where Meghan was supposedly living her best authentic life? Not hers. The dreamy California kitchen where she baked with friends. A carefully constructed set. Even the beehives she claimed to tend weren't actually producing honey for her homemade candles. When this truth came out, audiences felt duped in the worst possible way. The entire premise of the show, getting an intimate glimpse into Meghan's real world, crumbled faster than her supposedly homemade cookies. Critics and viewers alike started questioning what else was fake about the carefully curated experience. Meghan later defended the decision to use stage locations, claiming it was for security and privacy reasons, but the damage was done. In an era where audiences crave authenticity above all else, the revelation that her authentic lifestyle was essentially a Pinterest-perfect performance felt like the ultimate betrayal. The irony wasn't lost on anyone. The woman who left royal, life citing a desire for truth and authenticity, was now serving up a heavily scripted version of reality that felt more artificial than anything she'd experienced in palace life. The borrowed beehives became a symbol of everything wrong with celebrity culture, the desperate attempt to appear relatable while living a completely unrelatable existence. Social media exploded with memes and commentary about the fake kitchen. Revelation. Viewers who had initially been charmed by the cozy domestic scenes now felt manipulated. The show that was supposed to humanize Meghan instead highlighted just how disconnected she'd become from the ordinary experiences she was trying to portray. The guest list for With Love Meghan read like a who's who of Hollywood, but the interactions felt more like an awkward corporate retreat than genuine friendships. Mindy Kaling, Abigail Spencer, and other A-list names showed up to cook and chat, but something was fundamentally off about their chemistry. Critics immediately picked up on the stilted conversations and forced laughter. These weren't the comfortable, teasing interactions you'd expect from real friends. Instead, every exchange felt carefully rehearsed, with guests offering generic compliments and avoiding any real personality or conflict that makes genuine relationships interesting. One particularly cringeworthy moment involved Meghan correcting a friend who called her Meghan Markle instead of using her preferred Meghan Sussex. The awkwardness was palpable, and viewers couldn't help but wonder if these were really friends or just celebrities fulfilling contractual obligations. The cooking segments revealed another layer of artificiality. Meghan appeared in full glamour, makeup and pristine white clothing while supposedly engaging in messy kitchen activities. Her friends seemed more like carefully selected props, chosen for their ability to make Meghan look good rather than for any genuine connection. Behind the scenes, sources suggested that many of the celebrity appearances were carefully negotiated and scripted. The spontaneous girl talk moments that should have been the heart of the show instead felt like performances where everyone was reading from the same PR-approved script. The contrast with successful lifestyle shows was stark. When viewers watch someone like Ina Garten or even the Kardashians, they see real relationship dynamics. People who tease each other, disagree, and show genuine affection. Meghan's celebrity circle felt more like a carefully curated fan club than a group of authentic friendships. When the reviews started rolling in, they didn't just criticize the show, they absolutely destroyed it. Critics used words like devastating, cringe, and embarrassingly tone-deaf to describe what they witnessed. The show didn't just fail to meet expectations, it spectacularly missed the mark in ways that left reviewers struggling to find polite ways to express their disbelief. Variety compared watching the show to a forced march, suggesting that viewers would need serious motivation to make it through. Entire episodes, The Guardian called it emotionally vacant, while other outlets questioned whether they were watching a lifestyle show or an extended commercial for products most people couldn't afford. The authenticity issues that had plagued production became impossible to ignore in the final product. Critics pointed out that every moment felt calculated, every emotion seemed performed, and every interaction appeared to be designed more for Meghan's image than for genuine entertainment value. Rotten Tomatoes scores reflected the critical consensus, with the show earning devastatingly low ratings from both critics and audiences. But beyond the numbers, the reviews revealed something more troubling, a complete disconnect between what Meghan thought she was creating and what audiences actually wanted to see. The most damning criticism focused on the show's fundamental dishonesty. In an era where viewers reward vulnerability and authenticity, With Love, Meghan felt like watching someone perform the idea of being relatable rather than actually being relatable. Critics noted that every perfectly lit scene and carefully scripted interaction only emphasized how far removed Meghan was from the ordinary experiences she was trying to portray. The backlash wasn't just about the show's quality. It was about what the show revealed about its star. Critics suggested that Meghan's obsessive control over every detail had strangled any possibility of genuine connection, turning what could have been an intimate look at her life into a sterile brand exercise. Behind the scenes at Netflix, the reaction was swift and decisive. Sources reported that co-CEO Greg Peters, who rarely involves himself in creative decisions, personally reviewed the show's performance data and was reportedly rattled by what he saw. The numbers weren't just disappointing, they were catastrophic. Show dropped out of Netflix's top 10 within a week of release, a stunning failure for a project that had generated so much advanced publicity. Internal metrics showed high abandonment rates, with many viewers turning off episodes before completion. The engagement numbers that Netflix relies on to measure success were nowhere near the levels needed to justify the massive investment. More troubling for Netflix was the broader reputational damage. The platform that had built its brand on understanding what audiences wanted had spectacularly misread the market. Executive meetings reportedly focused not just on the show's failure, but on how to minimize the damage to Netflix's overall brand. The silence from Netflix executives spoke volumes. While they typically promote successful shows with press releases and social media campaigns, With Love, Meghan received minimal official support after its disastrous launch. Industry insiders interpreted this as Netflix quietly distancing itself from the project while figuring out how to handle the remainder of the Sussex contract. Sources suggested that the renewal for a second season was less about confidence in the show and more about contractual obligations and damage control. Netflix found itself in a difficult position of having to honor its commitments while privately acknowledging that the partnership wasn't delivering the results they'd expected. The streaming giant's reputation for making smart content investments took a significant hit. Industry analysts pointed to With Love, Meghan as an example of how celebrity appeal doesn't always translate to audience engagement, especially when the celebrity in question seems disconnected from their intended audience. The failure of With Love, Meghan revealed a deeper problem that had been building since Harry and Meghan left royal life. The couple, who had positioned themselves as truth-tellers fighting against institutional dishonesty, were now struggling with their own authenticity crisis. Meghan's attempt to rebrand herself as a lifestyle guru highlighted the fundamental contradiction. At the heart of her post-royal identity, she wanted to be seen as relatable and down-to-earth while maintaining the luxury and exclusivity that had always defined her public image. The result was a confused message that satisfied no one. The show's failure also exposed the limitations of Meghan's celebrity appeal. While she could generate headlines and controversy, translating that attention into sustained audience engagement proved much more difficult. The novelty of royal rebellion had worn off, and audiences were looking for substance beyond the drama. Critics noted that Meghan seemed trapped between her royal past and her Hollywood aspirations, unable to fully embrace either identity. The constant references to her Sussex title, combined with her attempts to appear like a regular person cooking for friends, created a jarring disconnect that viewers found off-putting. The lifestyle brand that was supposed to accompany the show, American Riviera Orchard, faced similar authenticity challenges. The products felt disconnected from any genuine expertise or passion, instead seeming like another attempt to monetize her celebrity status without offering real value to consumers. Industry observers suggested that Meghan's biggest challenge wasn't talent or resources, but her inability to develop a coherent public identity that resonated with audiences. The woman who had once captivated the world with her fairy tale romance now seemed to be desperately searching for a role that would recapture that magic. As news of the show's failure spread through Hollywood, industry insiders began questioning whether the Sussex brand had peaked. The entertainment industry, always quick to embrace rising stars, can be equally swift in abandoning those who fail to deliver on their promises. Agents and producers who had once been eager to work with Meghan were reportedly taking a more cautious approach. The show's failure raised questions about her ability to connect with mainstream audiences beyond the initial curiosity factor. In Hollywood, where perception often matters more than reality, being associated with a high-profile flop can be damaging to future prospects. The contrast with other successful celebrity transitions was stark. Stars who had successfully moved from one area of entertainment to another typically demonstrated genuine passion and competence in their new field. Meghan's cooking show felt more like a celebrity playing dress-up than someone with real expertise or enthusiasm for the lifestyle space. Industry analysts pointed out that the modern media landscape requires authenticity and expertise, not just celebrity status. Audiences have access to countless lifestyle influencers and cooking personalities who demonstrate genuine skills and personalities. Competing in that space requires more than royal connections and designer kitchens. The Netflix partnership that had once seemed like a shrewd business move was now being viewed more skeptically. While Harry and Meghan's documentary series had performed well, Their other projects struggled to find audiences. The pattern suggested that their appeal might be limited to their personal drama rather than their creative abilities. Hollywood's response to celebrity failures can be unforgiving, and early signs suggested that Meghan's stock in the entertainment industry was declining. The town that had once embraced her as royal refugees was beginning to see her as another celebrity who had overestimated her appeal and underdelivered on her promises. The future of Meghan's entertainment career now hangs in the balance, with industry insiders quietly speculating about whether she can recover from this spectacular failure. Netflix has committed to a second season of With Love, Meghan, but sources suggest this decision was driven more by contractual obligations than genuine enthusiasm for the project. The broader Sussex brand faces significant challenges moving forward. Their original appeal was built on their royal connections and their dramatic exit from that world. But as time passes and public interest in royal drama fades, they need to prove they can succeed based on their own merits rather than their past controversies. Meghan's lifestyle brand ambitions appear to be stalled, with American Riviera Orchard failing to launch successfully despite significant publicity. The cooking show was supposed to be the launching pad for a broader lifestyle empire, but its failure has left those plans in limbo. The entertainment industry's attention has already begun shifting to newer celebrities and fresher stories. Meghan's challenge will be finding a way to remain relevant in a landscape that constantly demands new content and personalities. The royal card can only be played so many times before audiences lose interest. Some industry observers suggest that Meghan's best path forward might involve stepping back from the spotlight and focusing on behind-the-scenes work or philanthropic efforts that don't require constant public attention. The relentless pursuit of celebrity that defined her post-royal years has clearly taken a toll on her public image. The ultimate irony is that Meghan's desperate attempts to control her narrative and maintain her relevance may have achieved the opposite result. In trying so hard to be everything to everyone, she's ended up connecting with no one. The woman who once effortlessly charmed the world now struggles to authentically connect with audiences who have countless other options for their entertainment. The Netflix disaster serves as a cautionary tale about the difference between celebrity and talent, between attention and engagement, and between royal mystique and genuine appeal. Whether Meghan can learn from this failure and rebuild her brand remains to be seen. But one thing is certain, the days of coasting on royal connections and manufactured controversy are over. The entertainment industry has delivered its verdict. On With Love, Meghan. And it's not a love story. It's a reminder that in the modern media landscape, authenticity can't be faked, relationships can't be staged, and audiences can't be fooled. For someone who spent years criticizing the artificiality of royal life, Meghan's Netflix show proved that she still has a lot to learn about being real.